What's up, Cloud Life? It's Overflow Nexus, giving you the latest and greatest value in the game. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about respect. Respect is given and not earned. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Hope all is well with you guys. Hope you are blessed. It's been a minute. I just want to be simple and straight to the point tonight. We're going to have quite a few topics. I hope y'all interact with me tonight because y'all know I like interaction. I like to interact with the people in the chat. I like to talk with you guys and have conversation. So if you're willing to engage in conversation, ask questions, speak your mind, I'll talk to you and we'll go from there. So once again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. It's a blessing just to have people take their time out to watch the channel on a Friday night or any given night. So I do appreciate that, for real, I do. But yes, today we're going to be talking about respect, because respect, and you could say, you could say in the chat, if you agree or disagree. Do you think respect is given or you think respect is earned? I personally think respect is supposed to be given, and I'll state why, and I'll back up why I state that, and go on from there. If you don't agree with that, feel free to say I don't agree with you. It's fine. I don't care. We'd like to have conversation and chat and, talk about different viewpoints and go from there. So if you disagree, speak your mind, let me know. And if y'all can hear me, let me know in the chat as well. And if you are on here, go ahead and drop some likes. Hit the like button, get the algorithm going, help the channel expand. Also, it'd be nice to have people talk here, because like I said, we like to have interaction. We like to have conversation. We talk about all topics, from political to financial to day trading to just being a person, etc., etc. So we are here to talk about anything. So whatever you want to talk about, I'm all game. Like I like to talk. What I do best, I like to talk when people are interactive with me. That's when I shine, because the interactions is what makes everything go smooth and makes everything funny. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you definitely want to chat it up, give me your thoughts in the chat box. Do you think respect is earned, or do you think respect is given? All right, let me know in the chat. But other than that, I hope you guys are blessed. I'm gonna also read off other topics that I have for today. I have them written on my phone because, man, y'all know I'm not gonna lie, I do forget sometimes on what I want to say or whatever. I'm gonna have a scripture for y'all today, and then I'm gonna go into that's the first thing. Then the next thing I'm gonna go into respect is given, not earned. Then I'm gonna have the next topic is going to be not having self-respect, and going on that. And then I'm going to talk about how to be more respectable as an individual. And then the last two things is men and women need to respect each other. And then the last one is market analysis. I'm going to be doing some analysis on the current market towards the end. So if you could stay tuned for that, that'd be great. Also, if you have anything that you want me to look at or analyze, let me know in the chat. I will get to it and go from there as well. Because the markets lately have been acting a fool. I don't know if y'all have been looking at the markets, but the markets have been acting a fool lately. I think one of the biggest issues right now is, the CPI information was released. That really shook the markets up. Y'all, and when I get to the charts, y'all will see how bad the market was affected this week. So we will talk about that as well, and get into where I think the market's going. I already have a pretty good idea of where the market's going. I actually have the chart pulled up right now. Y'all don't see it, but I see it. And what I said last time I did my stream, and those that get mad, because I know some people get mad that I don't stream enough. Some people get mad that I don't put out enough content, whatever. That's fine. I have other stuff outside of YouTube that I do as well, that I'm building on. But the point is, what I'm saying, last time I looked at the market, it's done exactly what I said it would do. I don't think it's necessary to do frequent live streams unless, something comes up. But I already have 3 episodes lined up for you guys. I already have it written down, so this is one of them. I have 2 more written down already, scheduled and everything. So the next stream will be on Monday. So I will keep that for you guys. And then the next stream will be on a Wednesday. So be prepared for that. It's going to be pretty fun. Other than that, going back to what I was saying, the market has done exactly what I said from the last time I looked at the market and give y'all an update on it. So I trade the daily time frame, which means everything reacts a lot slower. Some things could happen really abrupt and fast, but the way I trade, the way I look at the market, I look for the bigger moves. How I look, study and see how the market moves. The bigger moves is what matters to me, not the small micro movements. That doesn't really matter. It's all about seeing the bigger picture, seeing where the market's really going. So, looking at the chart currently, y'all already know just from Twitter, the market has shot down and then shot back up pretty quickly. And I'll get into detail on that because the last time I said, last time I looked at the market, we were at the Kijun level on the Ichimoku. I was saying that the market wasn't going to drop, and the market has dropped since then. So I will get into that towards the end of the stream. But now we're going to talk about the meat and potatoes of tonight's topic. Respect is given, not earned. The reason why I believe respect is given and not earned is because if you are, and this goes for anybody, if you treat people how you want to be treated, you ask for respect yourself, correct? Anybody that has a thinking mind, anybody that thinks about this in a moral perspective, if you have any morals to be exact, if you look at anything with morals, if you treat somebody how you want to be treated, you want to be treated with respect. So obviously you're going to want to give respect if you want to get respect back. Another thing I want to emphasize on respect is respect. You could also lose respect. I will get into that as well. It's a combination of 2 things. So you could give respect, but also you could also lose that respect that's given by your actions. So a lot of people don't understand, and I'm gonna get into this because it's gonna be interesting. I want to read this scripture because it has to do with respect. It's Matthew 7:12. And it says, therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. So if you're going to give respect or do what you're going, or you're going to respect someone, whether you're going to treat someone right, whether you're treating someone, whatever kind of way you're treating them, however you expect somebody to treat you, you do the same thing back to them. That's what this scripture is saying. And then to finish it off, it says, for this is the law and the prophets. That's what the scripture is. In Matthew 7:12. For those that don't read Bible, don't read scripture, that's the scripture that I have for you guys. Having to do with respect. Whatever you are asking for someone to do for you, expect them, expect the same, to be done onto you. So if you, for example, if you go if you're in the military, I'm only saying using the military as an example because I know some people that watch this have been in the military or any class scenario. If you've been to school, you respect the teacher, you respect the sergeant, you respect the master chief, whoever is in charge, you give them respect. Whatever authority figure, you give them respect automatically. Now, do they give you respect? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on the type of person they are. But if you are going to treat somebody a certain way, always treat somebody respectfully first. Now, however they treat you, you go based off of that. Now, if you want to continue being good with that person, that's up to you. It depends on the type of person you are. I personally choose to respect people until they lose that respect. That's me personally. Just like in relationships, when you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, depending on what sex you are. If you are a man, you're courting a woman, you're supposed to treat her respectfully. Respect her, expect the same respect to be given back to you. Now, if she doesn't, you could, kick her to the curb, say, I don't want that type of woman. I don't want to deal with that. Same with you, ladies. If a man's not being respectful towards you, don't take the nonsense. Move on and move on to the next. Now, here's another thing that you respect is given. Your parents, when you are born and when you start to grow up, you give your parents respect, correct? Because not only just because they're your parents, but it's also the biblical right thing to do is give your parents respect as well. It also says that the parents should also, not to put the kids in a place or provoke your children onto wrath. So you need to also treat your children with respect as well. If you do have children as well, that's the other thing that respect needs to come. But first of all, respect is something that is given. It's not just because of a title that you have. It's not because of who you are. Respect is something that you are naturally supposed to be doing. That's why I personally choose to give respect to people until they lose that respect. Ways that you can lose respect, all right? Being disrespectful. If you cross boundaries with somebody, say if someone doesn't like what you're doing towards them, right? Depending on if you're verbally abusive, physically abusive, if you are doing something that someone has came to you in private and spoke to you about, hey, I do not like what you're doing with me. I don't like what you're doing here at all. That's another way that you could show disrespect towards someone. They could lose respect to you in that regard. Relationships, this is a given when you're not living up to the standard of what you talked about in a relationship. If you say to your chick, hey, you're a man of your word, and you start doing stuff over and over, and it's a pattern that she's seeing, she's not going to respect you. Or if you're doing something that the man does not like, he's not going to respect you. Another thing, this is going into a deeper. Say if you get with a man or a woman the first night, and y'all have sex on the first night. You're not going to respect that person because they gave it up too easily to you. And this is just real. Like anybody that knows what I'm talking about, we're trying to be real here. We're not trying to be sugarcoating nothing. We're trying to be authentic about this, because those people, I could personally speak for myself. I do not respect a lady as much if she's trying to give it up on the first day. That's just me personally. That means you don't have respect for yourself if you give it up too easily. Another thing where where you could lose respect for somebody, you know, the seeing how they treat other folks around you. So going to a restaurant, simple little example. Going to a restaurant, seeing how they treat the waiter, the waitress, seeing how they treat the people around them, even in a business setting or a work setting. You go to work, you see some coworkers treating certain people and certain your coworkers a certain way. Once you start to see how they treat your coworkers, you start to lose respect for whoever it is. May that be your boss, may that be the manager, may that be just another coworker on the same level as you. Treating people, around you with respect is a big key how someone could lose respect for someone. That's why I think personally, and y'all, you could chime in the comments. This is why I believe that respect is given until proven otherwise. Until you prove that to me that you should lose that type of respect. Now, should you just dump somebody altogether just because you respect them less? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying is you need to use some wisdom, some discernment, see how people treat others. Are they respectful towards you? Are they respectful towards other people? Are they respectful to people in their family? Look at those cues, and when you start to see that doesn't match up with the principles that people that you hear the golden rule. No, that's not the golden rule. This is just biblical morals as well. If you look, like I just gave y'all the scripture as well. So you could always go into look at yourself and then go into seeing how are you going to present yourself to people. People always will judge you based off your first impression. A lot of people say it's not good to judge. Well, everybody judges, and there's reason for judgment. You're judging people because we always want to put people in a category or a box, but this is what people do naturally without really thinking about this. But when you judge someone, you're judging them based off the impression that they gave you. This is everybody. Everybody tries to discern what type of person you are, to see if they want to kick it with you, see if they want to take out the time to get to know you. Whether you know it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, people are judgmental to a degree. Now, whether they are condemning, that's another thing. If you're condemning to judge condemningly, that's different. If you're judging someone to know if you want to kick it with them, if you consider them somebody that you want to, invest your time into, that's another thing. You don't want to waste your time with everybody. Not everybody is worth wasting your time for. So you have to have some type of judgment. That's where wisdom kicks in and discernment kicks in. You make righteous judgment if you want to even deal with that type of person or not. So this is why it's good to have that discernment and say, okay, this person is not, up here. Do I want to still kick it with them? Do I want to make that judgment? It's just like if you go out on a first date, right? You go out on a date with a chick. She's sweet. You're putting her in a box. You're putting her in maybe the wifey box, or you're putting her in the not to be too provocative, but you putting her in the I want to sleep with her box. Like, just being real, this is how people think. You're putting people in boxes. Not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm saying this is what people naturally do. You don't think about it, but when you have time to sit down and think, you're like, oh, I do this. Oh, I am like this. Or, you really put people in boxes every day. When you get into a relationship, like I said, or a date, go on a date, you put that person in the box on the same date, whether you want to call them again or you want to give them another chance. If you don't do that, then you probably don't have standards. You probably don't have, probably don't respect yourself. Honestly, if you're not having standards for yourself, you need to, get to a place to where you're making decisions based off good judgment, not condemning somebody. If someone doesn't meet your standards, you don't have to deal with them. That's just point blank. If you don't have, it's same thing. Okay, let me just give you another example. Jesus had a standard for the people that were going to serve him, to be disciples to him. He said, leave everything behind and follow me. Some people could not reach that standard, right? So Jesus put them in a box. Okay, you did it, follow me. So you're not following me. Cool. I'm not gonna hate you. It is what it is. I put you over here, and then there's people that gave up everything. The disciples gave up what they needed to give up and started following Jesus. So you have to be real, because some people say, "Oh, judgment's bad. Oh, you can't judge." No, yeah, you definitely can judge. You can't condemn judging, but if you're going to judge someone condemningly, make sure you look at yourself before you even do that and start pointing fingers. All right. So in the chat, if y'all be so kind, let me know, do you think respect is given? Do you think respect is earned? I want to hear y'all's thoughts, because I definitely like to know what y'all think sometimes and get into y'all's heads on y'all's perspective on things and how y'all look at life. I personally think if people respected each other more, the world would be totally different. Totally different. Now, you can't make somebody respect you. Which is sad. You can't do that. But you could come off more respectable, and I'll get to that later on, how to be how to be a more respected person in your community, one-on-one, whatever the case may be. But I want to show y'all, read this definition of respect real quick. I want to pull it up. And I'm going to pull it up here just so we know, because I want people to read. I don't want people to oh, he's just making up a definition. Here's the word respect on the screen, all right? Here's the word respect for those that, try to make up words or, make up definitions that ain't real. All right, respect. Number one, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by abilities, qualities, or achievements. Another one, a state of being admired or respected. A person's polite greetings. Due regards for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. So this is most likely the respect that the Lord wants us to have. It's like a politeness, attentiveness, a thoughtfulness, a consideration towards people. If you're being considerate towards someone's feelings, wishes, rights, traditions, others, you're not belittling them for what they believe. You're not coming at their throats. You respect you respect their mindset, you respect their thoughts, you respect their feelings. And, if you step on their toes, that's because you're going to step on people's toes regardless. There's no way that you could be perfect in everybody's eyes. That's impossible. But you have to show, consideration and thoughtfulness towards others, whether you disagree with someone or not. Okay, and I might get canceled, I might get this this stream knocked off, whatever, I don't care. Point is, if for instance, when I post stuff on social media, because I'm against a lot of things, I'm against certain things too, and I'm not going to promote that. There's how Disney nowadays is promoting the LGBT 9X agenda, whatever. Cool, y'all do whatever, but I don't personally subscribe to that agenda, so to speak. So I'm against that agenda. Now, I'm not going to come out disrespectful and try to beat you down because of that. I don't agree with it, and I stand on biblical morals too. So me standing on those biblical morals, I'm not going to allow someone to to push something that I don't subscribe to. Now, you could say what you want. I'll be thoughtful enough to let you speak your own opinion or whatever you consider, but I'm not going to subscribe to it. Just like you don't have to subscribe to everything that I say. It's just being thoughtful when listening to people. Another thing is if people listen more instead of listen to argue, that shows some respect as well. Listening to understand, not listening to argue. That's the problem nowadays with people. I know I get on. Sometimes I get on phone calls with people, and they'll tell me something, and I'll be listening, and I'll say okay, cool, or they'll comment on something I posted, whether it's negative or positive. They'll say they disagree or they say they agree, and I'll say okay, we could talk. All right. Very few times people have met me in person to talk about something they didn't agree with me with, and when they do meet me up, I respect them a lot more because I'm like, oh, you got the balls to speak to me in person about something you disagree with me about. Okay, cool. So since that's the case, let me hear what you got to say. So when we talk, you say what you say. I'm not going to interrupt unless it gets to a point where we're interjecting over each other and it's not good. So I try to stay away from that type of conversation. But I listen to their points and I challenge their points. And if you could challenge someone's points and they can't answer on their points, then what they stand on is invalid. You have to challenge people's points sometimes to see where they truly stand, to see if they really stand on what they're saying. You know what I mean? So I respect people. I give respect. You could lose respect. But at the same time, you got to learn how to, in that moment, be respectful towards people's, what their thought process is. Challenge their thought process. If it don't make sense, it's not gonna make sense. y'all know what I mean. Y'all gotta be real in the chat. You dealt with people that don't make any sense at all. Like they don't make any sense at all. And when they don't make any sense and you are challenging their points, you're like, well, why and you're pushing out facts. You're not going off of feelings. You're going off of you're not going off of feels, you're going off of reals. You're going off of real things that are factual, that are not feeling based, because a lot of the times why people don't respect each other is because people are in their feelings so much. And feelings could cloud good judgment. I look past feelings. Feelings are true to an extent, but feelings do not override facts in the truth. So you could feel a certain way about something, but that does not make it true. All right, just like how atheists feel that there's no God and that there's no heaven or hell. They feel that way, but the truth is there is a God and there is a heaven and hell. You could feel that way, but there is a heaven and there is a hell. Whether you feel like you agree or not, there is a heaven and a hell. There is a God, and there's only one God. So this is type of stuff where, I'm gonna be real. I don't have too many friends because I challenge people's perspectives and thoughts and stuff, and I like to see where people come from because I think a lot. I have time to sit, think, and not all the time, but when I do have time to sit and think, I'm thinking about, okay, why do they believe this way? Why do they think a certain way? What is the root of it? There's always a root of why people think a certain way or believe a certain way or act a certain way or do certain actions on a daily. And when you get to the root cause of it, that's when you can start understanding the person. Try to understand people to the root. Now, if you can't be at peace with people, then, because you can't be at peace with everybody. You're not, there's just no way. Some people are just going to fight you just because of who you are and what you carry inside of you. So I know you can't please everybody. So there's going to be, back and forth with certain people, and there's going to be, you can't be peaceful, super peace with people. Now, you could be respectful towards people, but respectful from a distance, like, hey, you stay there, I'm gonna do my thing over here, right? So let me go back to the main screen. But you have to understand, respect is something that a lot of people, it comes from a lot of things. There's a different opinions on respect. Most of the time, just from observation, and not just observation, but really studying the human nature. A lot of people are in their feelings on certain things, which is why, like I said before, respect is, it could go, they lose respect for somebody, or they don't like what someone's saying, and they lose all respect for them, and it's a done deal. Now, here's another way you can lose respect. Like, if you're lying on somebody's name, right? If you find out someone's lying on your name, slandering you, talking behind your back, and it comes to the surface, obviously you're gonna lose respect for that person, because they try to slander you, try to belittle you, try to make you look bad in front of like a lot of people, and try to even turn people that were for you against you. That's another way to lose respect. And I don't know if people really dive into, really, sometimes it comes from people really don't care. Nowadays, people say, I don't give a F what people think about me, whatever, cool. But to a degree, you have to care to some extent, not to the point where it just dictates all that you do, but you have to care what people think to a certain extent, because just throwing out the name Andrew Tate, right? It's interesting because Andrew Tate, Kanye West too, they don't really care what people think of them, but their reputation they do care about. You're not going to sit there and call me something that I'm not. A lot of people call Kanye West crazy. A lot of people call Andrew Tate a misogynist. These guys are neither crazy nor misogynistic. This is why I get confused why people don't people say I don't care what people think. When it comes to your reputation, you got to care to this extent, especially if you have a business, because your reputation carries into whatever you touch. It's just like when Jonah was running away from preaching to Nineveh. It's funny because when Jonah got on the boat, the people on the boat knew something was wrong. And it was Jonah was running away from doing what God told him to do. And when and that's the reputation he had on that boat, and that followed him. If you have a reputation that's behind you, it's just like, not saying that you should condemn people for their reputation, but here's something. Like, if you it's like a chick that sleeps around with a lot of men. She's known as a hoe, right? 304, hoe, whore, whatever you want to say, slut. Just being real. I'm just being real authentic with you guys. This is if you know a chick that has a bad reputation for sleeping with a lot of dudes, you're not gonna want to sleep with her, right? It's just like a dude that has a bad reputation for dogging women out. He's not gonna be respected amongst the women community. It goes both ways. That's why I said if you want respect, you gotta give respect. Respect is something that you give. And, if you don't get it back, deuces. I'm not about to deal with someone that's going to be disrespectful towards me. If you're crossing boundaries, if you're trying to, disrespect me on multiple levels, you got the X. I'm not messing with you. So this is just, just real talk. And people don't talk like this. And that's why I'm talking like this. Like, people want to, want to sugarcoat a lot of things, but this is the reality of life. What's up, Crypto Chat? How you doing, brother? He says, speak truth. Bro, that's all I try to do. I try to speak the truth whenever I can, man. But going back to what I was saying, if someone has a bad reputation, you don't want to deal with them immediately. I'm not saying people can't change. Don't take it out of context, please. People can change, right? It's just like Jeffrey Dahmer. And people gonna think I'm crazy for this one. If you're on Twitter, you could clip this. I don't even care. You could clip this. But y'all know Jeffrey Dahmer had a crappy reputation. What he did was beyond not crazy. Anybody who knows, if y'all read the documentary or heard about him before it became popular on YouTube, on no, Netflix. Was it yeah, Netflix? Honestly, I haven't even watched the Netflix here. I don't believe in watching all that. You could just read it up because I don't want to pervert my mind with those thoughts. But point is, just reading it, Jeffrey Dahmer had a really bad reputation. And later on in prison, he actually found Jesus. I'm just saying, he has a good chance of being in heaven right now, despite what he did. He gave. They said he gave his life to Christ in prison. So who knows? He like, you could have a bad reputation, but I'm not saying people are going to judge you based off your reputation. So this is why it's important to make right decisions for yourself. Use wisdom, discernment, move in a way that's not going to cause pain on your name. Because when dirt is thrown on your name, that's going to follow you until you prove otherwise. So y'all got, I'm not speaking Chinese, am I, to y'all tonight? Am I? Let me know. Am I speaking Chinese to y'all tonight? Because I think I'm speaking pretty clear. I think y'all need to understand that this is real deal. Like, I don't understand why people don't really say they don't care what people think about them. Because truthfully, you do care what people think about you. You really do care, because if you didn't care that what people thought, you wouldn't even address it anyway. You wouldn't even think about saying, I don't care what people say. You wouldn't even care about saying it. It wouldn't even come to your mouth. If you really didn't care what people thought about you, that would even come out of your mouth, because you would just be like, oh, whatever. You just move on, keep it going. But if you have a brand or you have something that you're pushing, yeah, you want to carry yourself in a way that represents what you stand for. That's why your reputation does matter to an extent. It's not the end all be all. If you're a respectable person, that's going to follow you as well. Will your past follow you? Because your past follows. It's like, okay, this is just being real, you guys. Because I know more dudes watch this live stream than chicks, and if ladies watch this, y'all can chime in too. But if you are a dude and you get with a chick that's not well known, like she's known for being promiscuous, that's going to be a reflection of you as well, because whoever you associate yourself with is a reflection of you as well. Is it right? It comes with the territory. That's why the disciples, when they were associated with Jesus, because when they, especially Peter, he denied Jesus because he was associated with Jesus and he didn't want to get killed at that time. So he denied Jesus. And when you look at it, whoever you associate yourself to or what you associate yourself to, that's a part of your reputation as well. You become who you associate or what you associate yourself to. So you need to be careful. The term guilty by association? Oh, of course, guilty by association. That's one of the things that people don't understand. You got to really have some judgment, and not condemning, but you have to have some judgment to make rash decisions on your moves that you make, because your moves that you make are going to precede you when you go into the next chapter of your life or whatever it is. It's like, okay, let me just give an example here. Let me just say, if I'm using myself as an example, and give y'all just a scenario. If I'm not saying I'm not a killer. Okay, if I was a killer, right? And people knew that I was a killer, and I went to prison for it, right? Excuse me, I went to prison for it. I'll bet someone's gonna clip that and say that I'm a killer and all that stuff, because I know how people are on the internet, because people are twisted. But anyway, if I was a killer, went to prison, got out of jail, and I went to go job hunting, and I went job hunting, my reputation for being in prison precedes me at the place that I want to go work for. That's why it's important to guard your reputation, guard your heart, guard your people, And I say your people. Guard yourself from people that want to harm you, discredit you, belittle you, because they don't respect you. They want to bring you down. This is why uh, you got to be mindful of your surroundings, of people, places, and things. Discern people, places, and things, so you do not get into a place where it's going to destroy you long term. Am I making sense to y'all? Like, if y'all are in the chat watching, because I know I'm not speaking Chinese to them. I'm not speaking Spanish neither. If y'all understand what I'm saying, please drop a fire emoji or a one in the chat, just so just so I know that y'all get what I'm saying, because y'all are dry tonight. I'm being real. Y'all are being dry tonight, but it's cool. It's fine. But hey, I just want to say that because I think people fail to understand that what you do matters. It's just like the day when we finally get judged, the last time we get judged in heaven. The things that you said and idly, the things that you done on earth, is going to matter. So be mindful of what the hell you're doing. Like, really be mindful. So we got some ones in fire. Okay, cool. So we got some. So cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, because y'all acting like I'm speaking Chinese tonight and y'all ain't saying nothing. That's crazy. So I appreciate the people participating. I really do. Eric, Accent, Manta, appreciate y'all. Yeah. So you guys, you protect your reputation. It's a part of your wealth. I am doing a series on wealth. I think I'm gonna make that the 5th episode. So if y'all stay tuned for the 5th episode, this is only episode 1. So I'm thinking around episode 5, I'm gonna start speaking more about wealth and talk about that. But your reputation is a part of your wealth as well, and people don't understand that it's your social wealth. Social wealth is a wealth that people don't talk about often because they don't understand it. There is such thing as status in life. And not everybody has to have status. You don't. And what I mean by status is not being, oh, you're ranked up here and people are peasants. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's brackets in life where people, okay, for instance, a celebrity, their life is in the limelight, so they have to carry themselves differently and stand on it. You're a normal person. We're normal people. We're at this place. So I'm not saying they're better just because they have a higher life status. I'm saying, your reputation, however people perceive you on social media, whether it's true or not, they're going to perceive you as that until you show otherwise, until you prove otherwise. And it's something that I don't think people really take into account in life. I don't think, especially a lot of people in Hollywood, they don't really have a lot of mentors. Well, they think they're beyond it. I personally believe. Some of them think they're too good to have people, correct them when they're wrong, and when they do get corrected, they fight against people that correct them or call them out on certain things, which is whatever. But however you are perceived on social media, or how you're perceived in your hometown or amongst your peers, people are going to look at you like that, whether they respect you, how you are, or they disrespect you, or whatever you've done to that person. Because everybody's a bad guy in someone's story. Like, I'm a bad guy in someone's life. I mean, that's the truth. I'm a good guy in someone's life, but what outweighs what? That's the question. Is my good outweighing my bad? Is my bad outweighing my good? It's a scale, So you have to look at it. What will people say when they talk about me? Will they talk badly about me if they speak about me? Is it true, first of all? Or is it going to be real? Is it going to be, are they going to say something good? Whatever the case may be, what are they saying? Diego, what's up, man? I appreciate you being on, Diego. You said, one failure, one ninja trading and meditating on wisdom. I bet. But yeah, you guys, you got to understand that going into social wealth again, I will expand more on social wealth, but social wealth has to do with you know, it has to do with who you're surrounded by, who you're surrounded with, uh, how you're perceived amongst your peers, how you're perceived on, in the bigger picture of things. Because social wealth is not something, like I said, it's not talked about much, but social wealth there's, depending on what your status is, the more influential you are, the more powerful you are, apparently, the more, the less influence you have, you're not as powerful to impact people on, social media. Now let me prove my point, because you could have somebody, okay, like you could use Donald Trump, right? You got Donald Trump, who is infamous for what he says and blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff that he could say. Then you got another person like Kanye West. They have both similar influential power. Now, if you take a Trump and a Kanye, right, and let's say Diego, you're watching. Let's just say, just for example, let's say you have the same views as Donald Trump or Kanye West, right? And Eric, let's say you had the same views, and myself included. Let's say if we had the same, same views as them. Now, when they say something, it's going to be more impactful because they have more social status. That's what I'm saying. They have more influential power. Now, versus me saying it, or you saying it, or Eric saying it, right? So if y'all don't have we don't have the same so-called, what's the term nowadays? People say clout, whatever that is, clout. If people have that clout, or that prestige about them, if I say something that they say, it's not going to hit the same, even though we agree on the topic, or whatever the case may be. It's not going to have the same impact because it doesn't have as much influential backing behind it, even though it's the same thing. Just like if I said, if I've said I don't really, now this is gonna come off some type of way, so y'all could clip this, whatever. But it is what it is. But this is something I do personally myself believe. I don't agree with people being fat. I don't agree. People always have an excuse on why people are fat. I don't agree with the narrative on supporting being fat. I don't agree with that at all. It's disgusting. It's nasty to me. Now, if I said that, it's not gonna hold much weight as someone else. It's funny because Kanye West actually recently said, and I laughed. He said, supporting Lizzo being fat is demonic. I personally think that I have to agree with what Kanye said on that. I don't think Kanye's as crazy as people say he is. He has a lot of truth in what he says. It's just the way he comes across is not, is not the norm for what people are. People back in the 80s, 70s, maybe even the 90s had more backbone and push than the people nowadays. Everybody's so sensitive and my feelings. Shut up. Your feelings is second, whatever. So point is, if I had said that, it's not going to have as much weight as someone like Kanye saying that. That's all I'm saying. Social wealth has influence and power behind it. It's just like King David. He had a lot of power and influence. God raises up kings and he tears them down. So builds up kings and he tears them down. So you have to realize some people will be more influential than you will be. You may never be as influential because you're where you sit at in life. Maybe that's not your purpose. Maybe that's not your calling. Whatever. Maybe you're only supposed to have a certain amount of people. It is what it is. And then you have people that have a big following. Whatever they say, people take it as gold. That's why you have the crazy crap on Twitter about the crypto space. That's why crypto is stupid right now, because people are led by stupid people. I'm just being real. There's a lot of stupid people in crypto. I don't, y'all clip that too. But the point is, the people that are influencing people saying, do this, people take that as gold, and people are going to bite it. And then somebody that doesn't have as much of a voice, they speak and they sound crazy because they're opposing the bigger influential voice. So when you go against something that's more influential than you, you're going to sound crazy because it's not the norm. It's not what people, the majority view. So social wealth is very powerful. Don't people don't understand it? It's very powerful. That's why I said people that say I hate social media, then get the hell off social media. Then like shut up. Like why you on social media? Then you hate social media so much. You complain about everything. If you complain about social media, why you even bother to be on it? Why you watch YouTube? Why you on Twitter? Why you on Instagram? Why you on TikTok? If you hate social media so much, why you even bother doing it? Shut up. You just talk to talk. If I offend you, hey, I'm just telling the truth. If you hate social media, use it as a tool to benefit your message. If you want to make a difference, shut up. Think about what you could do differently and make a difference. When people say I hate social media, it just doesn't compute in my mind. Embrace social media because social media is here to stay. That's just real. Use social media as a tool to get your message across. That's what you need to do. Point blank, period. If I hurt your feelings and you're one of those people, boo-hoo, go cry. I'm sorry. I respect you, but get over your feelings. Use it to push your message and, make an impact instead of crying about it. That's why I got on here. I got on social media to impact folks, like to give people wisdom, share my thoughts, push Jesus Christ, build the kingdom. If I'm able to build, certain areas, I will. So this is why when people say they don't like social media, I just like, you get out my face. So I'm gonna give the air horn for that one. That's just real. I'm not sugarcoating that. And when I think about people that say social media is stupid, this is what I think.
Stupid.
I think they're stupid. That's all. I'm gonna be real. I just like y'all need to stop acting silly. Use the tools that you are given. Make the most of it. Use it to push what you need to push. Whether you got a message, if God's telling you, push that. If it's your business, push your message. But use social media as a tool to build a positive impact on people, to make something positive, But anyway, I think I said what I needed to say there. So I think I pretty much expanded on, a little bit on, respect is given and not, and not earned. But I want to get into my next topic. I have to read my topics because I swear I forget if I didn't write them down on my phone. This is why it's good to have a note. Screw Apple. Get a note. If you want to have a good time with the phone, get an Android. Forget Apple. I'm just being real. So here's to the next topic is not having self-respect. I talked about that briefly. Part of not having self-respect comes from having a low self-esteem. And I'm going to read some of these things that I have on here. One of the things, or part of the signs of low self-esteem and lack of self-respect is, saying negative things and being critical about yourself. When you are, because and this is something that I personally struggled with back in the day. I used to struggle with being a failure because when I do stuff, I failed a lot in a lot of things, and failure is actually one of the things that it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Anybody that has faced failure, knows what I'm talking about. When you like, let's say you start a business. Like I started, my first business was a personal training business. It was an LLC. I didn't do nothing wrong. I just didn't have the funds to keep it floating and going because I was new to business. I started my first business when I was 21, around 21, when I was when I got out of the college I was in. It was a course that I went for. It was to get certified being a personal trainer. So I was a trainer, started my own business. I didn't know nothing about business. I didn't know how to run business. I was doing a business at the recreation center for my city. So I worked with the city. I got certified under the city. And so when I got certified under the city, being young and not having a mentor, and being honestly, I was really, now that I think about it, I think I'm the first person in my family to actually start a business. I think I don't know about my any relatives beyond me or older than me or whatnot, but I believe that I'm the first person in my family that has started a business. So it was something new that uncharted territories. You know what I mean? So anyway, one of the things was when I was in business, doing my personal training business and all that. When I was working for the city, I didn't know how to keep the clientele. I got the clientele there, but people, you know, depending on what it is, you have to compete with other personal trainers too. So you have to have a business plan. I did not have one. I was winging everything. I was just winging it. Like, just, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. You have to have a business plan. You have to have goals. You have to have how to retain your clientele. I didn't have all that, so I used to teach women's self defense class and morning classes, and I used to teach kids self defense. Well, actually, it wasn't even a kids class. It was like adults and kids mixed, which was interesting. And then I also taught just self defense and just gave people workouts and had morning fitness classes. So I had one class that had like 25 people come to the class, and I was training like 25 people at once, which was kind of, was it 25? It was a high number. I'm gonna just say double digit. I'm not gonna say 20. I'm gonna say double digit, right? I don't want to lie to y'all. I'm gonna just say double digit. So it was 10 and above. I'll say that 10 plus. So what happened was I was new to training multiple people at one time. So I'm excited because I'm young. I'm like, I'm making money, cool, da da da. But retaining the clientele is what made me feel like a failure, because I didn't know how to retain the clientele, because they enjoyed the classes, but some people were sick. I did feel, looking back at it, maybe I wasn't as energetic, because people like energetic personal trainers, especially when it's like fitness classes. They like the upbeat trainer that's like yelling and screaming and pumped up. I wasn't like that until later. Because my personality, I like to be chill. I like to be calm. Now, if I need to be loud, then I'll be loud. If I'm making a point, I'll get loud or whatever. But I didn't really have that, So, I was losing clientele there. And then I said, okay, I feel like a failure. So I was talking bad about myself. Like, oh, you're a failure. You can't even keep, your clientele, da da da. And looking at it, I was like, dang, talking bad about myself. So I didn't have respect for myself in that regard. You could have no respect for yourself in certain situations, whether that be you don't have your respect for yourself because of your appearance. You let people walk all over you. You let people treat you any type of way. You don't have, what's that word? What's that word? It was on the tip of my tongue, and I was about to say it, but I forgot it. It's like when you don't stand up for yourself and you don't speak. But anyway, that I was gonna say that. But point is, if you don't have respect for yourself, things start to deteriorate. And I was not having respect for myself, because I was looking at myself like a failure, because I was being critical over myself, being mad. So that's where poor self-esteem came in. Another thing that you could have about low some signs of low self-esteem or lack of self-respect is letting people walk all over you, focusing on your negatives and ignoring your achievements. That's something that I learned later. You got to learn how to embrace your achievements. Sometimes we overlook our achievements, the things that we accomplished in our life, because we're so focused on the negative things that are going on in our life. And if I'm blinking a lot, it's because this light is bright. Like, y'all don't understand. This light is crazy bright. I feel like I'm blinking a lot right now. But point is, when it comes to, focusing on the negatives in your life, you don't really focus on the positive, the things that the great things that you've done. We done great things, but we so focused on the negatives that we don't give our times to cherish the good things that we've done. So that's one of the things that of not having self-respect or low self-esteem kicks in. Blaming yourself when things go wrong is another thing. Thinking others are better than you. Have a inferiority complex. That's another thing of not having self-respect. It's like if you, and I know some people do this, especially if if you're dating people, you think somebody's out of your league. Now, there's some people that may be out of your league, but you should try anyway. Just because you have confidence in yourself. Just someone's out of your league or not. But anyway, if you feel like you're inferior, I can't even speak right now. If you're inferior to somebody, when you feel inferior to somebody, that's when you start having a lack of respect for yourself. You let people that you think are have that are better than you walk all over you, and that's not healthy. You're like a doormat. You're like a liability, not an asset. And you look at yourself like a liability versus an asset. So you need to look at yourself, and you also got to be real with yourself. If you're a liability or asset, but you got to look at yourself in a way that and that's why I'm gonna talk about how to be make yourself more respectable in a minute. But let's say you're financially broken, right? You don't have your finances in order. You obviously don't want to. You want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to be in a relationship because finances is a big part of a relationship because women are expensive. You have a kid with her, that's even more expensive. Another thing is you don't feel adequate enough, or for the men, you don't feel like a man because you don't have your finances in order. A big thing about being a man is having your finances in order. That's one of the hardest things for men nowadays is having your finances in order, especially now because it seems like, I don't know why, but it seems like women are competing with men in finances. And most of the time, women that are making more money than men, they don't respect men that are not making the same amount of money or more than them. Just from what I've seen as well. And I could argue that majority of women that are like that. Women that are like that, I bet you and guarantee they will be single for a long time. What I'm saying, but they will be single for a long time if they do compete with men like that. But anyway, with not having being a man, not having your finances order, you kind of look down on yourself. You don't feel like you're a man. You can't take care of yourself, so you can't take care of a woman that you want. She's not gonna look your direction. So what's the point? So you kind of beat yourself up. But this is, I'm gonna give you some tips how you can be more respectable for yourself. Because everything starts with yourself. You need to have a foundation in God. Have God teach you how to be, more, how to have confidence in Him. Not necessarily yourself, but have confidence in Him that He's going to start altering you, start changing your thinking, start changing the way you move, act, live, breathe, speak, confidence, shoot through the roof. So you have to have a foundation with the Lord to start really accelerating if you want to go higher. People that say they're self-made, they're not. They're whatever, cool. Self-made. I really don't believe nobody's really truly self-made. God has touched your life in some type of way, or maybe somebody else. But nobody's truly self-made. You're either. I'm gonna save that for another day. I'm not gonna talk about that yet. But yes, you have to realize that you need to be in a place where God's leading you, because that's going to be the best way that you could start moving higher in your life. You have to have some type of foundation with God. Something. You have to have something. You don't have to be perfect, because everybody always tries to be perfect when they try to meet God. No, God don't want you perfect. He wants you where you're at, so He could start working on you where you're at. If you cuss a lot, that's cool. Get with God, Let God change your cussing, so you could cuss less. If you're a sex fiend, or if you're like somebody that gets around a lot, let go to God anyway. Let God start working on you. If you are someone that has pride issues, go to God. Let God deal with you. Let God build you up. You have to have some type of foundation in God building you. You don't have to be perfect. God wants to meet you where you're at, and He doesn't want to be perfect to meet Him. Because trust me, no one's perfect on this earth. Not myself either. I'm far from perfect. Very far from perfect. But anyway, let me talk about how to be more respectable, because this is something that I do think will help people out, and maybe it's also boost your confidence as well. One of the biggest things on building your being respectable, being consistent in what you are doing is that's another thing. Amongst your peers, amongst your loved ones, being consistent. Consistency is something that people do admire. So that is one thing. Another thing that you could do, start pursuing a healthier lifestyle. Take care of your body. Because I know a lot of people always like to say, the healthier you are, the better your body looks, the better you're going to treat yourself, the more confidence you're going to get. Well, I know for me, when I was, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. It was back when I was being a trainer. I wasn't skinny. I was like in decent shape. I wasn't like swole or nothing. I was like in decent shape. So, and also when I was doing MMA too, kickboxing and all that. But when I stayed in shape, people respected that I was taking care of my body, taking care of my health. People respected that I knew how to fight. They didn't want to fight. So you doing things that are productive for you physically is respectable. That's one way to get your respect up. People admire people that take care of their bodies. Nowadays, they're trying to promote this stupid nonsense that you could be fat and it's okay. No, it's not okay to be fat. I don't care. If I lose like 3 more viewers, that's fine. I'm being real with you guys. That is not fly. Take care of your bloody body. You got one body. If people were really honest and spoke their mind, I bet you, people do not respect a lot of people that are fat. You might respect them for what they got, but honestly, you don't respect someone that's fat. Let's be real. Let's be real. No one likes seeing someone that's overweight, obese, looking like a gluttony, looking like y'all watch that anime Full Metal Alchemist, that fat guy that ate everything. He ate people, he ate metal, he ate everything. That homunculus, he ate everything. Yeah, when you are gluttonous, it's not a good look. It's atrocious, honestly. It's not. You could have the kindest heart, but people will look past and don't be fat and mean, because I'm gonna give y'all another story, because I'm just being real. Let me just tell y'all a story. So there was this chick back in middle school. No, high school. Cool. She had her days. She was cool some days. She was not cool other days, right? And I'm a chill dude. I'm chill with everybody until you cross certain lines, right? So it was this is because it was in my Spanish class. You had the fat chick, the skinny mixed chick, then you had me, and then you had the gay dude. So the gay dude sat to my right, the cute mixed chick sat like beside me, and the fat chick sat beside the skinny chick. I'm painting a picture. So y'all close y'all's eyes so y'all can vision this, right? So, and this is in Spanish class. So we talked every day, because this is our kick it group. All right, the people in the back. This was our hangout group. So there was one day that the big girl, you can't. This is why you can't be fat and mean. If you're gonna be fat, be nice, because no one's gonna tolerate a fat, mean person. I'm just being real. You could tolerate a fat, nice person, but you're not gonna tolerate a fat, mean person. Let's be real. If y'all disagree with me or y'all think I'm being wrong, say say you're messed up in the chat. If you don't like what I'm saying, if you agree, drop a 1 or a fire emoji. I appreciate that. But let's be real. No one appreciates someone that's fat and mean. People appreciate people. You could tolerate someone that's fat and nice. All right. So anyway, let me get to my story. So I don't know. To this day, the big girl wanted to pop off at the mouth. So I don't really take too kindly to people popping off at me. Well, I could tolerate it now a little bit better back when I was in high school because I was young and hot. But anyway, point is, this chick, she had an attitude to this day, big girl. And I don't know what made her snap on me, but she started talking mess, and class is like listening, and she had and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just telling a story what happened. She had like a breathing problem, right? Well, it's not like when I say breathing problem, I'm not like I'm saying that she breathes loudly. Like how Darth Vader breathes in his little mask, like that, right? So she was she was like breathing hard and heavy, and she, I let her talk her trash, right? I let her talk trash, and this is when I became a jerk face, asshole, whatever you want to say. I'm not gonna lie, I was a jerk, asshole, whatever bad words you want to put on someone this day. And I said, I know you ain't talking to me crazy right now. So what I end up doing, I end up mimicking how she breathed, right? Like Darth Vader, because she had that noise. So if I was in the mic, like that's what it sounded like, right? So I'm like, I said, I know you ain't talking. So I kept on doing that, and I know this is wrong, but at the time, hearing it now and telling the story, it's like I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong at that time, but if you're gonna be disrespectful and come at somebody, don't expect them not to clap back at you. Now, you might get some people that might just let you and they'll walk their separate way and leave you alone, but not everybody is going to look the other way and be like, no, I'm gonna let you down easy today. Some people are going to clap back as soon as you get on them. I was unfortunately with that day because I'm pretty chill. I'm like, wow, you're really talking out the side of your neck, so I'm about to blast you. So now that I'm like mimicking how she breathes, the mixed chick next to me, she's trying not to laugh. And the gay dude next to me, he's like, oh man, this is about to get ugly. So he starts chuckling, right? And so the big girl, she starts roasting the gay guy. So now the gay guy, if y'all know how gay people are, I'm not trying to, if you say something to them, they're immediately gonna start, hacking you. Like they have that anger, like they gonna attack you. So what ended up happening? The big girl started attacking the gay dude, right? And so now they're going back and forth, and he's now jumping on her throat, and he's starting to mimic her breathing. He started, because they pick out everything. They see details or whatever it is, and they start nitpicking and they start chopping you, right? And this is why I say you can't be fat and mean. This is why fat celebrities that are comedians, this is why they get love, because you could make me laugh and you're fat. And you joke about being fat. So I respect that. You know where you are, so I respect that. But if you're straight up a jerk about it, no, you might get, you might get a couple, you might get attacked. So now, going back to the story, now it's the big girl versus the gay dude. Big girl is trying to get on me, and then the girl in the middle's the mixed chick is laughing, and we're kind of being a little disruptive in class, but we're trying to be quiet too because the teacher's teaching Spanish, and I'm like, I'm gonna let him teach, but I'm not gonna be too obnoxious because it could get bad and we could get kicked out of class. So we're like whispering and all this, and then we start getting a little, a little louder. Everybody starts hearing, and it's just one of those stories where I'm like, I know where I went wrong. I know where she went wrong. I know where he went wrong, and the whole situation it did not escalate properly. This is why I say, respect is given until proven otherwise. If you start coming at somebody, they're not going to respect you as much. It's like a snake. It's like if you hold a snake and you feed the snake every day. Say you had a pet snake, you feed the snake rabbits, whatever, dead animals, whatever you feed it. And then, one day it bites you. You're not going to respect that snake no more. You're going to be like, I don't want that no more. I don't. That's the same way most people are. I try to be, right by others no matter what. Sometimes I'll let, things slide because I'm like, okay, they're coming out of a place of whatever. And then, knowing the scriptures now, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spirits and things in high places. So this is why now, I'm going to read that comment in a second. This is why now I realized it wasn't the person necessarily. It was the spirit on that person that was affecting them that way. So everybody deals with the spirit because the spirit influences people on a day-to-day basis on the choices you make, whether being led by the Holy Spirit or whether you're being led by the Antichrist spirit. You're being led by some type of spirit. You just need to, line up with what spirit you're being. That's why the scientists can't even figure out the human brain, because the human brain actually is influenced by either the Holy Spirit or Antichrist spirit. But that's a topic for another day. That'll be a little bit deeper. Life and timeless art, you said, but women get all the love though if they're not disciplined. Of course. And yeah, I have to agree with that, because even when a woman's acting out of character or acting out of line or whatever, and I'm pretty sure y'all seen this on some platforms or some videos that go on WorldStar, YouTube, whatever it is, whatever platform. There'll be where a woman's in a man's face like rah, 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 rah. And then the guys try to get away from her, but she's still in his face, is barking, and then all of a sudden she put her hands on him. The moment he puts his hands on her, knowing that she escalated the whole thing, he's the bad guy, because you shouldn't put your hands on a woman. I'm going to just say this. Don't put your hands on no one. That's a part of respect. If you respect someone, don't put your hands on them. Now, if you put your hands on someone, expect somebody to fight you back. Someone might not fight you back, but always expect that someone is going to try to defend themselves if you put your hands on them. Whether it's a man versus a man, a woman versus a woman, or the opposite sex versus the opposite sex, which is what we don't want to happen, because I stand by women cannot fight a man. I don't care if she's been in Taibo, I don't care if she's been in Muay Thai, I don't care how much training she's been in. She's not gonna beat no dude. If a dude really does not hold back, her training is not going to be that sufficient for her. Now, you may have a few chicks that could scrap with some guys, but the majority, no, they're getting hands and getting whooped all day. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying I condone it. I don't, because I know people take stuff out of context. But what I'm saying is, most of the times, I'm going to say 9 times out of 10 or 8 out of 10, the man's going to win in hand-to-hand situations when it comes to being, when it comes to physical strength, physical prowess. And you don't want that type of situation. Ladies, don't let these movies and other women boost your ego thinking you could fight a man. You can't fight a man, ladies. I'm just going to save y'all now. Do not try to fight men. You will get your butt handed to you if he does not hold back. I'm just saying, but anyway, y'all can say whatever. I know people don't like that, but these movies are giving women a false air of the reality of life. Now, there's few women that could probably knock out some dudes, but that's a very small amount. A very small amount. But y'all, no one likes to talk about these conversations because it sounds bad, but this is real. This is real. Let me see. But let me go back to other ways to be respectable. Some other ways to be respectable is always, just the best thing I will say is really do right by others. You know what I mean? If you, if you owe someone, now, me personally, and this is one thing I learned. If you give something away to somebody, don't take it back. Whether that's a gift, if it's money, don't take it back. And if usually if you're giving money, don't expect it back. That's just one of my things, because I know money is a really touchy subject for a lot of people. But if someone doesn't have the finances to give you it back at that time, well, that you take care of people if you have the money. Now, if they're using you, then don't do it. But if they are being sincere and genuine, and they mean it, then they stand by what they're saying, then go ahead, give them money. Don't expect it back. Give it, and don't just. God's going to look at your heart, because he's not looking at what you could get out of people. He's looking at what you could do for people. You're supposed to be a servant to people. That's why I said, my mindset. Excuse me, my voice cracks and my throat is dry. I haven't had that much water, but my mindset is to be like the pawn in chess. Everybody wants to be the king piece in chess. Everybody wants to be the queen. Everybody wants to be, the strong pieces in chess, but they don't want to be the pawn piece. The pawn piece is, in my opinion, one of the best pieces in the game of chess, because it is the piece of being humble. If you learn how to be like a pawn, not saying be used, that's what people say a pawn is, but a pawn is also a servant to the king. So if you're being a servant, having a servant mindset like a pawn, the pawn piece is the only piece in the game that could turn into any piece but the king piece. So if you humble yourself, treat people like you want to be treated, respectfully, be respectful, be thoughtful, be considerate of others. You don't have to subscribe to what people are pushing, but be respectful. But if you are pushing a narrative of I said narrative, but I guess I could say that pushing a narrative of respect about being respectful about yourself. Yeah, show people respect. As long as you're giving respect, being like the pawn piece, serving people, respect the people, give them what you expect people to give to you. And if people understood that small concept, I promise you, a lot of things will be a lot different in this world. A lot of things. It's just like children. If you ever watch children, right? Because it's funny, because when I was doing when I was working, I was not really work. It was actually interesting. In my high school, they had this community service program. I forget what it was called. I just call it community service because it was basically community service, honestly. But anyway, so for the community service, that for me, they sent me and a few other students that were in this class to different elementary schools. So what I noticed with kids are pretty respectful towards each other until a boundary is crossed. And so as I was observing like these kindergartners, it was kindergartners, fifth graders, and second graders that I watched. I think it was kindergarten, second grade, and fifth. I know it's for sure fifth and kindergarten. I think it was second grade. I don't remember. But I know for sure it was kindergarten and fifth graders that I would monitor and watch and be like a substitute. I wasn't a substitute necessarily, but I was uh, supervising while the teacher was gone, right? And so what ended up happening, I was watching students, especially you could learn a lot from the little ones, like the brats, the kindergarten brats. But anyway, so I was learning from them, just observing how they treated each other. And kids are actually quite respectful of each other until a boundary is crossed. And even when the boundary is crossed, they still make up and try to, uh, forgive one another. Now, some kids aren't forgiving as others, but I'm just saying most of what I observed when I was watching the kindergartners supervising them, I noticed that they had respect for one another, and if they didn't like each other, they would talk, and you hurt my feelings. No, 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 no. They would communicate, as best they can, and they would say they're sorry, or the teacher would interject, and they would make up. But for the most part, they had respect for one another, and I said, oh, interesting. Kids are very interesting. This is why I sometimes believe why the Lord tells us to come to Him like a child too, because we can learn a lot from children, but children are also, I'm not saying they're stupid, but they don't have wisdom in a lot of areas as well. So you could learn from stuff from kids, but a kid could learn a lot of stuff from you, a ton from you, because you have experience with the wisdom. But adults could learn how to be more respectful, forgiving like a child, is what I'm trying to say. So it's interesting just observing things in life and seeing how things are. I'm just like, interesting, interesting. But yeah, that's one of the things. That's another way to be more respectful, or how to be more respectful. A more respectable person is by uh, if you take issue with somebody, talk it out, speak on why you don't agree with them, why you don't like what they're doing, and hash it out that way. You don't have to belittle someone unless they're coming at you like that. But you have to be respectful in a way that you talk to that person. Hey, this is what I think. See, this is what I think. Talk about it. Don't just be, hateful and mean for no reason. Talk about the situation. People appreciate you more if you're talking about why you don't like them. Because if you could say, because I know people, there's a lot of people I know that don't like me, and I'll be like, well, hey, why don't you like me? And I give them a chance to say it, but 9 times out of 10 they ain't gonna do it. It is what it is. But I try to give people a chance to say why they don't, and they don't say why. They some of them do, but very rarely do they do it. I had a problem with some what were they? I think they were either they had okay, yeah, it was some Muslim belief, right? So it was when Palestine was being, pretty much blown up by Israel, right? I made a comment on social media that I stand with Israel. The reason why, I told them why, because they were mad at me, right? I know I'm gonna lose some people here, but whatever. I said I stand with Israel. Even though in the eyes of the world, people see Israel was the bad guy because they were blowing up Palestinians, right, and doing all that. But Israel is God's people, so I'm not gonna go against God's people. However it looks, I'm always gonna stand with Israel. That's bottom line. So, how God's gonna deal with them is how He's gonna deal with them. But I'm going to stand with Israel. So I had said that I stand with Israel on social media, and it blew up. Like, it was ugly. Like, I had people that haven't even spoke to me. Like, how people add you on social media, but they don't talk to you, and you're like, who are you? And so when I said this, You know, like I was looking at, like, who are they commenting on my, because you get a notification like someone commented or sent you a message, right? So I was looking at, who's this? I never heard of this. So I see that they're on my friends list and they commented on my post, like, why you say such a thing? You da da da. And I'm like, man. They said, why you with Israel? And I said my thoughts. They didn't like it, and I said, you have a problem with it? And of course, they obviously had a problem with it. And so there was one person that never really spoke to me, right? They never spoke to me about it. They just deleted me from social media. And I noticed when people get rid of me on social media or whatever, or stop following, whatever. So this person stopped following me. And it's so ironic because I never met that person in my life. Literally a few weeks later, I kid you not, literally a few weeks later, I met this person in person. And I didn't recognize them at first until they figured out who I was. They're like, "Oh, you're that guy that's with Israel." I'm like, "Oh, you look familiar. Who are you?" So we talked about it, and I said, "Yeah. I noticed that you deleted me from social media. What was up?" And so they said they didn't like what I said. I said, "Okay, this is your chance to tell me to my face why you didn't like what I said, da 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 da." And so we had like maybe 15, 20-minute conversation about this topic, and I went into extreme detail on why, they respected what I said. Now, did they like what I said? Probably not. But I also asked them, why don't you, why you deleted me and all that, and you had a problem with me. If you have a problem with me, talk to me. So that's all I said. If you have a problem with me, just talk to me about it. We could talk. I'm not gonna beat you up, or I want to hear why you genuinely don't care, don't like me as a person. That's what I want to get down to. If you don't, cool. If you want to talk about it, cool. Well, we could talk. That's what it's about, right? Talking. I said, earlier, and I'm gonna beat the dead horse because I said this multiple times, but you have to give respect, right? Right? You don't earn it. So I gave that person respect, even though they did agree with my opinions. I listened to what they were saying, was talking to them, was hearing them out. I wasn't talking to argue. I was talking to understand, talking to listen, seeing where they were coming from. And I was hoping they do the same. And they did, because later they added me back on another social media. Because I'm not really on Facebook like that. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. So, they added me back on Instagram. And it was interesting because you went from hating me to now, respecting me, because we had that conversation, and it is what it is. If people talked more to listen to understanding instead of listening to fight, like I said, a lot more people respect each other, and a lot of boundaries would be crossed. You're putting stuff out up front. Let me tell you one thing, and this is what I did back, because I said this before, and this pertains to dating, because I don't like my time wasted, and I don't like wasting my time. When I dated, when I was younger, I said this, and this y'all could say right or wrong, but I'm being honest. I told people, told them ladies, like, hey, look, hey, look. This is my intentions with you. I either want to have sex with you, or I want to have a relationship. I would tell them up front because I didn't want to waste their time or my time. Now, depending on how they responded, that's how we moved. So if I said this, I just want to have sex with you, and they said, "Oh, I'm not about that," I said, "Okay, bye." I want what I want. If you can't give it to me, then next. So that's quick. Move on. I didn't see you as worth having a relationship, a long-term relationship with. And I'm not doing that on the first day. Now, if I do that, I really don't respect you, but I'm just saying. But I don't do that anymore. Just so y'all know, because I know some of y'all are like, oh my God, he's such a. No, I'm talking about the old me. Now, I'm very direct, and I'm very clear with my intentions with women. Uh, I say, hey, I see you as a potential girlfriend or potential wife in the future. Uh, if you're interested, hey, well, let's see where this goes. If you're not interested, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to keep you as a friend because I don't want no female friends. Like that's just real. Like y'all might think this is something. I personally don't believe in having female friends because the type of person I am, I will start to like you the longer I'm around you. So I can't have a female friend. Because it's like I have three sisters. My sisters are cooler than any other chick I know. They're funny. They're hilarious. Actually, they're hilarious. They're cool. So I don't need a female friend. I have my cool ass sisters. So uh, if I'm gonna put a chick in a box, this is the box I'm putting you in. I'm gonna put you in as either wifey material or not wifey material. That's it. You're not a friend. You're either wifey material or you're not. If we don't talk, it's because I don't want no female friend. I want to have a wife. I want a wife. I don't want a friend. I want a wife. And if I get a wife one day, most likely she's not gonna like me having female friends anyway. Am I right or wrong? Like it's very rare, and I know this is, y'all. It may sound a certain way to y'all, but most people, like guys, don't like their woman having man friends. Let's be real. Like you don't want your like if you're a dude and you're married and your girlfriend, or not say your girlfriend, your wife says, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out. I'm going to eat brunch with my homeboy." You're gonna look at her sideways. If you don't look at her any type of way, that's disrespectful. First of all, I don't care what no one says. If you have a wife and she goes to lunch with another man, that says something. That shows you how she thinks about you. That's a reflection of you. Y'all could say insecurity because y'all are just weak men. I don't care that y'all don't stand up for yourself. You don't put your foot down and say, "Hey, you're disrespecting me by going out with this dude." It's just like if you let your chick go to the club, most likely she's gonna get hit on. You're opening a door for her to get hit on. Not just that, potentially her getting drugged, and you're not protecting her as a man. So in that sense, it does not make sense for you to put your woman in a a situation. I said predicament. It could be a predicament, but in a situation that could be hazardous to y'all's relationship long term. And it's just like if a man is in a if I have a wife and I have so-called girlfriends, she's gonna look at me sideways if I go out to lunch with them. She's gonna be like, okay, how? Like she's gonna ask 1,001 questions. Y'all think I'm like, y'all ain't saying nothing in the chat. That's how I know y'all look like, oh wow. If you're in the chat, say something because I know this ain't. This is topics that people try to avoid. People try to avoid these topics all the time, which I don't understand why. People don't like these sensitive, tough topics. And I think it's because people don't like stepping on toes or sharing their thoughts because they come off a certain way. Y'all need to stop being pushovers and speak y'all's mind. That's just real deal. But this is why I always try to be authentic and put stuff out on the table before it escalates into something else. You know what I mean? Because I don't want I don't want no room for questions that like something that's questionable. Like when I say that, I'm saying I don't want it to be any gray areas because I don't believe in gray areas. I believe in things are black and white. If the reason why I believe that way is because there are things in life that are we know, but there are things that we are ignorant to. And the gray areas in life are so-called ignorance, like the things that we are ignorant about. Because there's only truth and there's only true and lies. There's only facts and opinions. A fact is something that could be proven. Opinion is something that you feel is right, but it can be a fact when it's proven, but it's an opinion at first. It doesn't have no concrete evidence. It's just how you feel. So this is I look at life as fact and opinion and truth and false, and I try to find the truth in everything in life. And it's not easy. That's why you got to do deep digging and look at things objectively, ask for wisdom, see how things line up. Because if the only reason why there's gray areas, so to speak, in life that people talk about is because there's ignorance, and ignorance just means you just don't have wisdom or knowledge or understanding on a situation or a topic. So that's where the gray areas come at. Until you find out the full truth, then that's when you see everything as black and white, because it's either true or false. But anyway, people don't want to talk about that. That's just another hard topic. The last topic before I get into the technical analysis is talking about, let me see, the last topic is men and women need to respect each other more. Yes, nowadays you have so many platforms of men belittling women. You have men talking bad about women. You have women talking bad about men, belittling men. But men and women need to come together, have reasonable conversation, real conversation, why both sides don't respect each other. Part of it comes from the stigma and experiences people have. They've been dogged out in their life, or they see their homegirl or homeboy been dogged out by a man or a woman. So that's part of it. Personal experiences could affect people's judgment on the opposite gender or opposite sex, so that whatever people want to say, because I believe there's only two sexes, man and woman, not like 10,000 like people say nowadays. But anyway, but it comes from a lot of different places. This is why you have to look at the majority. What is the majority saying? Because you have to generalize the majority. You can't have insignificant information like the anomalies. That's not the majority. You have to have criteria that that is based on the majority. Now you do have special breeds of men and women that stand out amongst their peers, but the majority you got to look at it in a bigger light. So that's one of the reasons why men and women don't respect each other, is their experiences that they see or that they've gone through themselves. Another one is how they see men treat women or women treat men. People don't believe. Here's a big one. People don't believe in sex roles or gender roles anymore. You have women that are more masculine now, and you have men that are more feminine now, and this is one of the biggest reasons why. And I'm gonna say something because this just came to my mind, because I was laughing when this person said, it was one of my one chick that I was talking to, right? She said something so stupid. And I didn't say nothing. I was just listening. But I said, okay, I'm not gonna say. I'll just let you have that one because I don't feel like arguing with you. So we were talking about relationships, men being men, women being women, and we agreed that both roles are failing on both sides. But this is a stupid thing that she said, and it stayed with me because I said, you know what, that don't even make sense. Because you hear that women act masculine right nowadays. You hear men act feminine nowadays. So here was one of the things that that threw me And I said, you know what, I'm about to say something, but I didn't. I was just listening, just to be respectful of her thoughts. So she has said that she wants a man. Because this was a question I asked her, because I said, you don't want a man that's a bum. You don't want a man that's you know, you want a man that's a man all the time, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay, you want a man that's a man all the time. You don't want a man that's a little bit of man. You want a man that's a man all the time. Cool. I understand that. That's perfect. That's what you should want as a woman. This is this is where she threw me, and y'all need to really listen to this and dissect this part. She said this. She said her environment shapes her being working in her feminine or her masculine. And really think about that. Really think about that. Because the reason why that sounded very stupid to me, here's the reason why. If you want a man that's a man all the time, you need to be a woman and act in your feminine at all times too. You can't decide to be feminine today and then masculine tomorrow. That's not how that works. You're either feminine or you're masculine. You're working in one or the other. You can't, no, that don't make sense. So pick what you want. You want to be masculine, you want to be feminine. Because if you want a man, a manly man, he's not going to want a woman that's masculine today and then feminine another day. Because he's not going to feel that. Any man that's, and this is why I wanted interaction today, because I know people listen, but they don't say nothing because people are scared to speak on these things, but I'm not. If I get with the chick and she's showing masculine traits, or she has the appearance of masculine traits, I'm not gonna deal with that. A masculine, one of the biggest masculine traits is leading. And I might lose some people here. I don't care. A woman is not supposed to lead a man in a relationship. A man is supposed to lead the woman in a relationship. I'll say this again. A man, let me get closer to the mic so y'all can. A man is supposed to lead a woman in a relationship. Because I don't think people understand. This is why a lot of men and women don't respect each other. Because a lot of women are trying to lead men in relationships. And let me break this down. And let me really break this down. There's a what's that word? Hypergamy. Let me show y'all the word hypergamy. I'm gonna type that up. Let me see if I'm not the best speller, so y'all give me a break. Hypergamy. I'm gonna read out the definition of hypergamy. All right. Hypergamy. I'm gonna actually put it. Let me actually go to it so y'all can see it for yourselves as well. All right. Hypergamy. Here it is. The action of marrying or forming a sexual relationship with a person of a superior sociological or educational background. All right, now it actually is a deeper term than that, but it means to go date up. That's what hypergamy is, right? Let me go back. So it's to go up. You said, "Oh, what's up?" You said you may enjoy these channels over the next couple of weeks, and I'll catch up. I'll catch up with your comment chat, crypto chat. But here's the thing though. If you are in a relationship, right? A woman is usually dating somebody that's either on her level or superior. Women do not like to date usually down unless they like to be in control. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, let's be real. Women want to be controlled. When I say women want to be controlled, I don't mean they want to be controlled like you do this, you do this, you do. I'm saying they want a leader in their life. They want someone that's going to lead them in their life. This is why women usually try to date up. If a woman dates let's say, and I experienced this myself. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bum at one point in my life. Kind of, I probably still could be considered a bum in my life. Whatever. That's how I look at it. But if I had a woman, and I had my stuff together at that point until it's everything started falling apart. I wasn't making enough money. I wasn't taking care of, I was living with her, wasn't taking care of the bills like I was. We were going half and half. Women don't want to go half and half with you. I have experienced this. I have experienced this. Women, once we broke up, she got with somebody that took care of everything for her. I wasn't able to take care of everything because I was young. I was not making as much money as I was hoping for, and I got into a relationship that was more costly, financially, emotionally, blah blah blah, all the things you could think of. Everything that goes into a relationship. So when I was in that relationship, I realized I wasn't being the man that she wanted. However, when we split, she got with someone that was, at a higher, that gave her more options. This is what hypergamy is. She went from me to a higher level. This is what women look at. This is why most women that are in business, they tend to be single, because most men nowadays are not on their level. It's not that I'm talking about financially, but it's not that they don't have, that they're not a good person. It's just that women tend to date guys that are either superior or on their level, and that's just really the reality of it. If a woman's in control, she's gonna want to. She thinks she's gonna be, run the relationship. Some guys let women run the relationship. Well, that's on you. I don't know about all that, but as a man, you need to, have balls and run the relationship. I'm not saying be controlling, shaker, and like, stupid girl, you did, make me lunch today. No, I'm not saying be a narcissist. What I'm saying is, be respectful, take into account her feelings and all that, but also have boundaries with her to where she understands, hey, you step on these boundaries, we're done. And you need to be clear about that, because chicks, whether they want to agree with it or not, they like dudes that are in control. That's just be real. Now you got these modern day chicks that think they are, men and women are not on the same level. I'm just gonna say that now. We're not. But the point is, this is another reason why men and women don't respect each other. All right. Another thing is, you got men that are very abusive towards women, like physically abusive. And when that's the case, women take note of that, and they tell their friends, and they don't respect their dude that they're with. Let me see. Let me see. Crypto Chad, you said okay, you may enjoy these channels over the next couple of weeks. Red Mind, and I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm pretty bad with pronouncing words. Araco TV, they post about these exact topics. Yeah, I could check those out. One of the biggest channels I watch is actually Fresh and Fit and Abba and what's his name? Dadgummit. Abba and something. Man, I feel bad for not even remembering. But anyway, I like watching them, and I watch some other so-called red pill, things, because I have the same, thoughts as a lot of these guys too. Diego, you said, with all my respect, man, couldn't you talk about RCI and why you stopped using it? Oh yeah, okay. So Diego, just to be clear, the reason why I stopped using RCI, it's not that I necessarily stopped, well, technically I did, but I use it from time to time in my own personal trading, but I don't use it on the live stream. The reason why I don't use it is because when you figure out a certain way of trading, you could always make your trading better by changing the indicator by exchanging the way you look at the market. The RCI is good. I'm not saying it's bad. The only reason why I stopped is because I had a better way of using it. I had a better method of entering the market. So that's why I pretty much stopped using it. Now I'll still teach anybody that wants to know about it. I'll make content on it if people are interested. But the reason why I don't use it is because I always try to sharpen my trading technique or trading or get a better look at the market and make it more pinpoint accurate than most of the analysts that are in the crypto space or trading space. Like at the end of the day, I'm an analyst. I do trade every now and again, but I am an analyst. I look at the market. I see where the market's going, and the indicators that I use, I get it to where it's almost picture perfect. And I have a new indicator that I'm testing out right now. The only thing that I haven't really changed is Ichimoku. Ichimoku will always be my base. I'm not changing that, but I will add stuff and implement it to Ichimoku to get a better result. That's why I don't. That's why I change stuff. So yeah, that's my answer to you on that, Diego. Let's see. Crypto Chad, you said truth is women date up, and most will take the opportunity to level up to a new man. That's exactly right, man. A lot of women will want to date a man that is wanting to, that is in a better position. If a woman chose between, I'm gonna use myself because I'm not gonna bully nobody. If a woman was to pick between me and let's say who's a chick that who's a dude that all the chicks like nowadays. I don't even know who all the ladies like nowadays. Okay, I'll say Michael B. Jordan or or who else? Or Justin Bieber. Let's use them. Obviously, if we're going off of status, we're going off of finances, we're going off of clout and influence. Obviously, they're gonna pick Michael B. Jordan or Justin Bieber over me because I don't have that social status that the woman wants. Women do want a man to be at a certain social level because it does give them wiggle room to do other things in life, whether they want to admit it or not. But it does help them in certain things in their life. You said. These guys' comments on cringe social network posts, many LO. Yeah, I believe you, man. Diego, you said, so you enter the market in what time frame respecting Ichimoku? Yeah, actually, Diego, I'll actually talk about that once I get on the charts because I'm actually going to get on the charts in a minute. Ichimoku is definitely art. I will not replace Ichimoku. There's something special about Ichimoku. It's just, in my eyes, it's like flawless. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, most women, a lot of the reason why dudes lose respect for women is because sometimes women are too easy. Like I know for me, if I have sex with you on the first day, and I haven't had sex in like 5 years, so it kind of sucks, but because of celibacy. But if I had sex with a woman on the first day, I'm not going to respect her as much as someone that that's making me work for it a little more. You know what I mean? That's just being real. Like if we're just being real, that's the truth. Monta, you said, could you do a walkthrough on Clover, like setting stop buy trigger limits? Is it like Bybits, except US approved? So yeah, I could do a walkthrough on that for sure. I do plan on doing that. I'm just lining stuff up right now. Like I said, I'm lining a lot of stuff up right now. I just recently finished my merch, so I will be wearing my merch very soon. Hopefully, I just need to order some so I can have it. Wear the merch on live so y'all can see the merch that I have. And y'all I think y'all will like it. But yeah, I will definitely do a walkthrough or make some videos on that for sure. So yeah, definitely I'll do that. And yeah, it's nothing like Bybit. It's definitely a lot more, a lot different than Bybit for sure. A lot different. Also, I don't know if you downloaded the I don't know if you downloaded onto your computer or your laptop, but if you download the MT4 platform on your laptop or PC, whatever platform you or whatever you use to trade, that I will make a video for that for sure. Because it's definitely different, definitely different. Any good recommendations to get started with Ichi Clouds? Yeah, I got plenty of content on my channel for that. Yeah, you could. I have some free videos on here that you could watch. I have a teacher too that I would recommend. Chaos Trader 63 is my personal teacher in Ichimoku. Also, I also have videos that are membership based on the YouTube channel that only members could watch. So yeah, if whatever you want, man, I have it on here. I know a lot of people are wanting to, trade Ichimoku because it's different, and I do like the styles, the Japanese style of trading. I personally prefer it over anything else, but I mix it with other things that I know. Like I was looking at oil the other day, and there was a big trade on oil. I should have went short on oil, but I wasn't patient enough, and I was too tired to wait for that trade. I don't like staying up too late when I trade because I get tired and I make bad decisions. So I did take the trade. You said right on, looking forward. Of course, yeah, anytime. Yeah, no problem, Chad. But yeah, like I'm trying to diversify my topics on this channel. Like I want to make the live streams more about realistic stuff, and I want to save the crypto stuff towards the end. So whoever makes it to the end, y'all will be rewarded. But if you don't make it to the end, then that's on y'all. That's fine. But right now, the reason why today's a little slower in me looking at the market, because the market is very crazy right now. Honestly, I'll get into that. And the reason why I haven't been live streaming, because Bitcoin, the last time I looked at Bitcoin, it did exactly what I said. If y'all remember, I'll show y'all in a minute. But to end off with what I was saying about men and women need to respect each other more, I think a part of it is also a lot of men, in women's eyes, they aren't stepping up to the plate in certain aspects. So women don't respect men and they go on rants. But also, it's a contributor on both sides where men and women butt heads and they don't respect each other. So it is something that I do. I would probably have to invite like a female guest here to speak. If y'all will be interested in that, having like a guest here, that let me know. Because I do think it's a topic that will help, both sexes out and help each other to get some points across that people need to understand and hear. But anyway, that's what I have to share on, men and women not respect each other. Something that we will work on. I will go more in depth in another conversation. But for now, we're gonna hop on these charts. I have Bitcoin pulled up right now. Still very bearish, but it's very slow. So I'll get into that right now, so I could explain what I personally see in the market. So let's go ahead and hop right on that. I do think that's, excuse me. I do think that, oh my God, I have to burp. I do think that this market is going to get a lot more interesting very soon, like very shortly. But we're gonna get into that now. Crypto Chad, you said high value men are rare indeed. So are the high value women. Exactly. High value anything is rare. That's why it's called scarcity. Scarcity makes something more valuable. If there's a scarcity of high value men and women, then then it's not going to be the majority. High value men and women, are very, it's very rare when you come across one, and when you do, you have to think, oh man, I can't lose this one. Some people suck. I'm gonna be real. Some men suck, some women suck. So I would just be like, don't waste your time, just to be real. But anyway, let me go ahead and jump on this BCCTA. Bitcoin is interesting. If y'all remember the last time I did a stream, we were up here at the key June level. I said this to you guys, and I'm actually gonna do a split screen, and I'm gonna really break down how. Because who asked? It was Diego asked what time frame I enter the market. So Diego, if you're still here, I'm gonna show you how I look at this market, because I usually tend to look at the market with probably 2 to 3 time frames. 2 to 3 time frames. Once I look at the market with 2 to 3 time frames, I have an understanding, or a better understanding, where the market's gonna go. So let me show you what I have here. So I'm actually gonna take this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna take this off. I'm gonna explain everything all together, because let's treat this like an educational session tonight with Ichimoku. All right. So I don't know if y'all understand Ichimoku, but if you are above the cloud, you're bullish. You see, technically, we still haven't been bullish in a long time. Last time we were really bullish was way over here, back here. We were bullish here, but we've been underneath the cloud. Think of it like, if you're under the cloud, you're under the weather, you're not feeling good. Think of it like that, so that you're down. So the market is bearish when you're under the cloud. So when you're under the cloud, you're thinking automatically bearish. All right. So right here, we're underneath the cloud. We're bearish. Then we got the red and the blue line. The blue line is called the KS, which is called the Kijinsen, or the red line, which is called the Tinkinsen. If I say TS, it's for the red line. If I say KS, it's for the blue line. All right. So the blue line is also a level of resistance, right? So let me show you something. So if I was to take off the cloud, right, the original Ichimoku was just the red and the blue line, like this. So if I was just trading just purely the red and the blue line, I would say, okay, this blue line is flat, right? So this blue line is showing me that we have made some type of resistance. So here, I'm looking at that, okay, resistance there. So I'm thinking that the market's either going to break through this level, you're going to either get a breakout, or you're going to get a bounce. So I said personally, when we were here, I said the market was going to bounce to the downside, and you see the market has moved to the downside since, and we're still down from this point. So the question now, because you said what time frame I enter, I look at it on a bigger time frame, like the momentum of the market, right? So let me put everything back on here. All right. So here I see that everything's bearish. So my first thought is look for a bearish scenario. Now, there are cases where you could be below the cloud and the market moves up and breaks above the cloud. There are scenarios, but I'm going to get into that later. So here, now let me show you the other time frame. So this is the daily chart. Now I'm going to pull up let's see what time frame I pull up. All right. So the left side is the daily time frame. The right side is the 1 hour, right? So let's use the 4 hour time frame, because this is how I look at the market. So I'm also going to put a line here, and it's going to come on this side. So on the market right there. All right, so you see this blue line is this area in this bubble, right? So now let me focus on this area. This green bubble is the 4 hour time frame, right? So let me just focus on this time frame here, the 4 hour. All right. So now we're on the 4 hour. This is the daily bubble that I have, and this is the resistance level based off the daily, right? So me personally, when I look at this, I kind of have cheat codes for the market. So y'all see, I'm gonna take off everything let me take this off. Oh, oops. So y'all see how I have 3 different color candles, right? I have purple and blue, and I have gray. So whenever I see the market is purple, that's bullish for me. If I see the market is bearish, I'll see it in blue. If I see it is gray, that means I'm losing momentum, and that's what I want to see. So this gray candle is showing me that I have momentum is being lost here at this resistance, right? So now that I see that momentum is being lost, now I'm going to start observing this level closely and start thinking, okay, maybe I'll wait and see if we could get a breakout, or if market's going to start consolidating, so whatever. So here you see the market's going up, 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 and then you see the rejection candle on this purple candle. Next candle is gray. So it's saying that momentum for the bulls is slowing down. Then you see the momentum starts to go down, right? You see rejection here. You get another gray candle. Then you see what's happening here. This is telling me that the market's starting to consolidate. If I was to take every indicator off, seeing all these gray candles is letting me know that the market's consolidating. That's what I want to see. Now, how I get into an entry, I want to see price action, or I want to go off other indicators. So this is what I use, right? I use this to dictate the moment, to see if momentum's really going down, right? So you see how this is purple. This is the other indicator I use, CVD. This lets me know that there's buying pressure or there's selling pressure in the market. Right now it's buying pressure. There's buyers in the market. But here's the thing, right? Even though there's buyers in the market, look what's happening. It's declining, right? When I see there's a decline in the market, this is letting me know that buyers are leaving their positions. So let me show you. So look, let me give you an example. So this was the peak. This was the peak right here. This was the peak. And we're going to mark another one. We're just going to mark this one because this is a little lower, right? So we're going to look between this line and this line. It's going to show on the chart. So between here and here, if you look at it, buyers were leaving this whole time. Even though the market did go up, buyers were exiting their positions at this resistance because buyers didn't want to, or the demand for the market didn't want to go up higher. This is too high of a price. So this is what I'm looking at. So now that I'm seeing this, right, I'm seeing when I see the sellers start to kick in, right? So here, let me mark this. Oh, crap. Right here. Sellers came in right there. So I'm going to make this a little thicker. Make it a 4. And I'm going to make it a different color. I'm going to make it... Let's go. Oh, you can't even see that really. Let me just make it black so y'all can see it. So this is where sellers start really coming in. Sellers were coming in the whole time, but sellers really took over right here. So see here? I see right there, right? Sellers came in on this candle. This is the candle that I'm going to enter on. So this is how I would enter the market. This is my entry. Stop loss could be either tight. If I kept it tight, I would have got knocked out with the next candle, or I could keep it above here. But I like to keep mine slightly above the wick of the candle that I'm entering on, right? Now, if it knocks me out, that's fine. I'd rather take a loss than a big win, a small loss versus a big loss. So you see here, this was my entry. Market shot up. Did it take us out? Ranged a little bit, and then you see the market dropped. You see how the market dropped? So if I had taken the trade here, look what happened. This would have been my target anyway. I would have expected this. This would have been a bonus. But look how much profit I would have made here from this point all the way down. And let's say I take Ichimoku off, right? All this would have been the profit I made here. And then since this is support down here, I'm going to look to see if the market's going to go long again. And boom, look what happened. The market jumped from here, broke down a little bit, then jumped back up. So that's another way that I look at. So I'm entering on the 4-hour candle. Now, if I want to be even more, get a better position, I'll go to the 1 hour, right? Put Ichimoku back on. So look here. Now, if this is what I'm looking at, you see rejection here, and you look to the left, right? It's showing you that there's a double top on this candle. So this is saying, oh, I could probably short this. I'm gonna have a double top here, even though the market is above, price is above the cloud. There's one thing I look at. I look and see if volume is dying here, and look, volume was dying badly. Look how much volume fell off on the hour. Like, you see it a lot clearer on the hour time frame. Look how much it descended. So technically, I could have got in somewhere here. Let me move this over based off the hour. I could have probably got in here. I definitely could have got in right there. But right here is where I would look at. So look, I was in early. This is an early trade. This is what I try to avoid, early trades, right? So if I see this type of market, I'm looking at divergence too. So I see that there's divergence. We got a flat. We got a double top with price with the volume decreasing down here. So now that I see that, I'm waiting for certain things. I'm looking for more rejection closer to the resistance, right? So here's my price action candle. Let me zoom in so you can see this. Let me take Ichimoku off for a moment so you can see this. Once I see that right there, right? That rejection, this is price action for me. I see that. I look for the momentum. So I'm looking at a breakout here because look, here's the low. The market's ranging within this one candle right here, right? So this is the candle I want to get in on right there. This is the real candle that I want to enter in on. So look how much of a difference this makes going to a smaller time frame. Now I went on the 4-hour time frame. My entry was here versus my entry now, where's it at? Being right here. You see how much of a difference that makes doing multiple time frame analysis? And so if I look at the market, look now. You see here? Sellers came in exactly, and I didn't even have to look. Sellers came in exactly right here, and look what happened. They came in strong, and the market's been down ever since. You see that? So I like to trade with the momentum of the market. That's just how I trade. That's how I use Ichimoku. It's not easy all the time because it requires you to be like super patient. I'm not gonna lie, but if you could get past that part, oh yeah, you'll have a lot of successful trades. It just requires some patience, and that you really have to teach yourself patience. That's it. You said with 3-day holds, mini swings, I like using 1 day and 8-hour, then execute on the 30-minute. If intraday scalping, I like the 3-minute. Dang, you crazy. The 3-minute time frame? I ain't gonna go down that far. That's too much noise. Diego said, which closed candle do you wait for? One? You said one or 4-hour. It depends on what I want. If I want to trade safe, I would trade on the 4-hour. If I want to be a little more aggressive, I'll trade on the 1-hour. But I only go 2 time frames down if I'm trading the daily time frame. I'm going to trade either the 4-hour or the 1-hour. If I'm trading the 1-hour time frame, I'm only going to trade on the 30-minute or the 15-minute time frame. If I'm trading the 4-hour, it's going to be the 1-hour or the 30-minute. So that's the time frames I like to enter in on. So yeah, that's how I trade. And I keep my stops tight. So I keep it tight because if the market reverses, most likely it's going to reverse and continue going in that direction or break to the upside or whatever direction you're trading. So if I had entered in on this candle, like I showed you, my stop loss will be probably either this high here, the last high, or slightly above this candle. If I got in on this candle, this candle would have knocked me out, but I saw that rejection, I would have got in right here anyway. So you still could have caught this. But you just have to watch for certain keys. You got to watch for rejection. You got to watch for price action. You got to watch the momentum. There's a lot of stuff you got to watch for when you look at the charts. And this is one of the biggest things that people need to understand when it comes to looking at charts. The data changes a lot. So that's why I always tell people be patient. I'm not always going to call these markets right because data changes when I sleep. So I may see something in the next like 3 hours, the information changed, so I could be wrong on something. But I go by the current information. I try to wait for certain things for a more high probability trade. Just like the when I did this on the last live stream, I said I'm looking for the market to go short here because what I was seeing at that time, I'm like, this market looks like it's gonna move to the downside. Finding a position, that's another thing, but knowing the direction of the market most likely to go, that's what I was aiming for. And I said the market was going to go down. I said two things. It's either going to break this level and go up or go down. That's already 50-50. Now we need to minimize the 50-50. We need to increase that percentage. I said minimize. We need to increase from 50% to now 60 or maybe a 70% chance of it going in our favor. And that's just being patient and waiting for the move to happen. Now, since I trade the daily time frame and I look for certain things like this, if I see that the volume or sellers are coming into the market, I'm most likely going to side with the sellers. Even though I see buyers are in this market, I'm most likely going to side with the sellers just because of what they're showing me here. You know what I mean? And then that rejection candle, that really said, yeah, market looks like it wants to dump anyway. So, yeah, there's so many ways you can look at this market. It's just figuring out what works best for you. I anticipate the information that I see at the current time. And if it goes my way, perfect. If it don't, then dang. So that's how I look at it. You said, thanks, man. Good stuff. I'm in 2 trades now on the 3. Dang. Tight stops. What trades are you in? Crypto Chad, you also said, how long do you anticipate that you be in that trade? So, for instance, like you see this market here. Where did that arrow go? Did it disappear? Anyway, so here, right? I said the market was going to go down. The market came down. I look for levels. I don't know how long the market's going to move or how long it's going to be, so I can't say. I look for the market to reach a level. One of the biggest secrets in trading is the markets move from levels to levels. So if I was to take everything off of here, right? This is a resistance level, right? The market made resistance. You see rejection, kind of strong push, and rejection. So we got a double top here. So this is one level. So the next level is going to move to is going to be a support level. This right here is a support level. Look at how the market responded here. And then the next one will be down here. So it actually hit both of them. It hit here because it made a fractal, which is a support. And then it made we have support down here. So always think of the market's going to move in levels. The market could literally move to that level in 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, 2 weeks, 1 month. It depends on what the market's going to do. So you can never say really how long. You can anticipate where it's going to move, but you can't anticipate how long it's going to, how long it's going to take for that move. That's why when I called XRP dropping to like the 40-cent level, when it was like $1.30, people thought I was a madman. People thought I was stupid. I got cussed out and everything, but I said these are the levels that I see the price dropping to. And, when it happened, people didn't have nothing to say. They didn't even say sorry. Well, some did. But some people, didn't want to say, oh, you were right. Yeah, I see the market at the bigger picture with certain information. That information could change, but I'm looking at the market moving from one level to the next. That's why a lot of analysts get the market wrong because they overstep or they don't take into certain levels into consideration. Like, here's one thing. So here, I said the market was going to move from here to here or down here, right? Now, I could have said the market was going to fall down to 14K down somewhere down in here. That's overlooking these levels. Now, if it breaks this last leg, oh then I'm definitely gonna look at that dropping down to 14, 15, and so on. But since that didn't happen, I'm not. There's no need for it. So right now, currently, looking at the market as is, let's put this back on. Let's put this back on. I'm gonna look at the current market for what it is and give my thoughts. But that's how I look at the market. There's always levels, and you see this green level based off the data. If you look on the left chart over here, this side, you see this is the level. Then this is the daily chart. Here's the 4-hour time frame, a microscopic view of it. You see how the market responded here? It respected it a little bit, but look, it gave some disrespect. But look, overall, the market pushed up higher, and then boom. So now we're still holding above this support level. So now I'm trying to gauge what's the market most likely to do now. That's my next idea. Let me see. You said you're in BTC, XMR, and BTC showing some green Kumo. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. The market is trying to get bullish right now, but we're gonna see. You said XMR showing a lot of support at 138.40, 140. Someone is holding it up. The last 8 hours, I'm shooting of 1.5% scalp on one or combined. You'll be happy. Okay, got you. Yeah, so if you're doing that might be interesting. I would have to check what's going on there. But you see how the market's holding up at this support currently. So now, since I see that, like here, I see the momentum slowing down on the daily, right? For bears right there. So if I look at everything else, I'm still overall bearish because this is still coming down. I don't have it. I have it flipped blue where bears are totally in control yet. But if you go to like the smaller time frame here, you're starting to see that bears are trying to regain control. They're trying. You see here, they're trying. They're pushing it back down. But you look here, it's actually going up too. So bulls are actually fighting. They're fighting right now. That's why you have this indecision candle. And this is what I always tell people. You got to learn how to read candles because each candle tells a story. You got to... Actually, no, that's not indecision. It's a hammer. So we got a hammer that's suggesting that buyers want to take over. But you see the next candle is not that strong right there. It doesn't look that strong. So now we're trying to figure out what's really going on here. So now let's go to a smaller time frame. Let's go to the hour. So now we're on the hour, still at this same level, but look what's happening. We got a death cross with Ichimoku. Market made a double top here, right? Market is looking like it wants to go down. The KS is pointing to the downside right here. So we see that. So that's saying momentum is bearish. The TS is also angling down. The cloud is starting to round out too. So we might get a Kumo twist here where it goes from purple to blue, or so we could get that. But right now, what I'm looking for, let's see. I don't really talk about this yet because I'm still new to this, so I'm not going to talk about this. But this is showing me that the market is still bearish right here, based off the 1 hour. But we don't have a confirmation here on the 1 hour that's bearish. It's showing me bullish signs on the price, but here it's showing me bearish tendencies. So this is why I would stay patient for the move. Wait for the bigger picture, which is the daily time frame. Wait for the lower time frame to align with the bigger time frame to take a trade. Right now, there's no trade here yet. But if I'm going to look at someone taking it, there's more sellers involved at this price area right now. So I'm leaning towards sellers, pushing this market down. I do think that the market could push up higher right here. Maybe a little bit right there, then drop. Then we'll get something like that. But currently at this moment, we could argue that this is a head and shoulder pattern, but I'm not going to do that. I do think that this market has a good chance of moving back lower, just based off the current information that I have right now. But you see here, let's go back to the daily chart.
real quick. Let me show you this. We go to the daily chart. Look what happened here. You see that strong rejection on the daily? Strong rejection there. Like, we had resistance right here, but you know, it pushed down. Boom, look what happened. Market said, oh, I don't want no parts of that. So you got to be careful when looking at the market. Look at the structure. If you figure out the structure, then you'll be able to identify, okay, should I go long or should I go short, or have a better idea of where the market's going. So that's why, based off what I currently see, I'm leaning towards the bears, only because of the current information, but this could definitely change overnight. So I still will lean for the bears, to be honest. So that's what I'm gonna stick with for now. So let me know y'all's thoughts in the chat. If you think Bitcoin is going to start getting bullish, you think it's gonna be bearish, let me know. Now for, let's go with XRP, and then I'll leave you guys alone tonight. Because my voice is getting scratchy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not about to have a scratchy voice. So XRP is very interesting. I'm gonna look at this on the 4 hour, and also, so this is a trade that I gave my students. It was funny because I told them to go short here. This was the first position. So this was our first position to go short. Hit 2 targets. It hit target 2 here. Hit target 1 there. I told them to go short again here, but it stopped us out and then it dropped, which I was pretty salty about, but that happened, so I wasn't too mad. That's just the reality of trading. But let me take this off real quick so I can explain my thoughts here. We had the same thing happen. We had a bounce off the blue line. Remember, I told you this blue line likes to act as resistance or support, depending on if price is below the blue line, think of it as resistance. If it's above the blue line, think of it as support. So we bounced off the blue line here, and I said to my students, start looking to see if the market's going to bounce off of this. This is where you want to enter for a short, and it bounced here. So going down to like a 15-minute time frame, this is where we caught it. Boom, market moved sideways, then it dropped, hit target 2 out of 4, so that was good. So then the market rejected this area, went up. So now this is what's going on with the market. The cloud is showing us that we're bullish because we're above the cloud. However, if you look at the daily, it's showing that we're bullish as well. So this is what's interesting about XRP, because XRP is in a very special place right now. XRP is doing something different from most of the market. But let's take a look at the bigger picture. There's a decline in buyers. Buyers are right here. There's more sellers than buyers right now. And look, we're blue. So look what's happening here. It's still technically overall bullish because we're above the cloud. So what I would like to see for XRP to go higher, I want to see, based off the daily time frame, I want to see it break above the TS, the red line here. That's what I would like to see. Coming down to the hour time frame, let's mark that. Let's say we mark it right there. That's where the red line's at. Let's change the color. No, that's not it. There we go. Let's change it to that red. So this is our red line based off the 1 hour time frame. Based off the daily time frame, right? And so what I want to see price break above this, and actually based off the 1 hour time frame, I want to see price break above the blue line here. That's when I'll go long on XRP. But right now I don't see that. Now if we're looking here, the market is trying to get bearish on the 1 hour based off this indicator. Is bearish here, saying there's more bears here. So what I would like to see, because look what's happening. The market is ranging, right? And I know you are smart people, because I have a lot of smart people that are, that watch. So look what's happening right here. the market's ranging within one candle here. You see that? Y'all see how it's ranging within one candle? We call this the mother stick candle in trading. So let me focus more on this time frame. So here, and then I could take this off because I don't need it right now. So here, we're seeing if the market's going to break this one candle. You see how we're ranging in there? A lot of momentum is dying within this one candle. So this is showing us that we have consolidation, as you see. What I want to see the market do, I want to see the market break this low to go short. I want to see the market break this high to go long. How would I catch this trade? First of all, I would put a alert, which I'm going to do right now. So if it's going to go long, it has to break that alert. If I'm going to go short, it needs to break this alert right here. So once it does that, that's when I'll start looking to go into, look for a trade potentially. It's not lining up here yet. This is saying it's bearish, but this is saying momentum is slow. So it could really, anything could happen here. So this is why you got to be patient when you're trading the market. All right. So for XRP, I'm going to just say it's hard to say right now, but if it follows Bitcoin, then it's going to go down. What I want to wait for, I want to wait for a break at one of these levels. That's when I'll be more secure in giving a better answer. So right now I don't have an answer here, but I do see if it does break above this red line on the daily, oh yeah, this is going up. If it breaks here, breaks below on the 1 hour, up or down, that's an entry, earlier entry than waiting on the daily time frame. And if it breaks to the upside, I want it to match the momentum. I want this to flip purple. That'll give me more interest in going long if that's the case. But right now, I can't do that. I have to go by what I see. I don't want to assume. Any questions? Let me know. That's how I look at the market. No questions? Cool. But yeah, that's how I look at the market using multiple time frames with Ichimoku. Right now, there's a lot of mixed signals, but overall, right now, Ichimoku's saying potential bearish trade on the 1 hour. I'm not saying that's the way to go, but it's saying potentially. All right. Now, if I was to flip my candles back to normal color, let's see what it will look like. So this is bearish right now currently. So yeah. Diego says, Buenas noches, maestro. Buenas noches, my friend. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. God bless you, and you have a wonderful night. And that's cool because I'm about to end stream anyway. I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover tonight. I know it's late. It's Friday, so I'm gonna chill. But if y'all have anything that y'all want me to discuss, any topics that y'all want me to discuss, join the Discord. I'll put the Discord in the chat so y'all can join the Discord. If there's any topics that y'all want me to discuss, whether that be trading or whether that be real life stuff or political stuff or biblical stuff, let me know and I will talk about it. Excuse me. But other than that, you guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Excuse me, I got the hiccups and burps today. I hope this was very educational. I hope it does help y'all understand my thought process when looking at the market. I hope overall today was very valuable as far as information, as far as respect, So I do appreciate y'all staying in, tuning in. So I will talk to y'all on the next stream. Next stream will be on Monday. If I decide to do it earlier, I will let y'all know. I already have the topic, so I just need to make a thumbnail for it. Once I make a thumbnail, then I'm going to post it and send it out. That being said, love you guys. Y'all be blessed in Jesus' name. I will see y'all in the next stream. Peace.
Peace.